Alrighty, hello and welcome. This is BP Productions Podcast, where we share life, share stories, and encourage others. I am your host, Bruce Pineda, and I'm super excited to be bringing you episode number 7 of season 3, and that is our finale for this season. And I'm super excited for that because the goal has always been 7 each season, and we've accomplished that for 3 seasons. And I give all thanks and glory to God because without Him, none of this would be possible. And so that leads me to saying that we want to grow this as big as we can. And with your support, that is happening. And I appreciate it so much. This will only be found on youtube.com. And my Instagram, if you want to follow my day-to-day, is bruce.pineda, BRUCE.PINEDA. Again, if you're new to this channel, this is a channel where we share life, share our stories, and encourage each other. Speak about life experiences, bring on intriguing people to get their opinions, to get their life story, to give them a platform to share their heart. And that's the goal with this podcast. All right. So just to touch base from last week's episode about my extravaganza, about the club that I went to. You know, a lot of people from my work had seen that. And because if you looked at that episode, those are those people is who are, sorry, let me rephrase that. The people that I work with, they, are my friends, and they were at that party, and I told them that I was going to make a podcast video about my experience there, and they all saw it. And that was kind of awkward at first, but I just went ahead and did the video anyway, and of course being respectful. But that was it's interesting because, you never want to be disrespectful in any way. And I don't think I was. I got a lot of good feedback from it and some truthful feedback. So just very thankful for that. Yeah. So anyways, just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. And to say that even though something might hurt somebody or somebody might not understand where you're coming from, or whatever it may be, right? It's always good to share your heart. It's always good to share your opinion. I don't know why that thumbs up comes up. I don't even control that. So anyways, it's always good to share your opinion and share your heart, especially if it's something that needs to be said. And again, this platform is for me to speak. And if you like it, great. If you don't, you can shut it off just as easy as you put it on. So anyways, today's episode, Season 3, Episode 7, the importance of relationships in your life. The importance of relationships in your life. And what do I mean by that? Well, relationships, family members, loved ones, people that are around you, that you care about. Those are the relationships that I want to talk about today. And it could even be the girlfriend-boyfriend thing. It could be your spouse, whatever it may be, relationships in general, and why they're so important. Well, let's start off why this even came to my head. Right, so I've been reading this book by Tim Tebow. It's called This Is the Day. And I'm going to read you just a script in this book real quick. Actually, wait, no. Let me hold off to the end for that. Yeah, let me hold off to the end, and I'll talk about that soon. So why is it so important to have a good relationship with your family members? I started to think about that question. And what I came up with was that I think a lot of it is support. I really do. Because when you have a great relationship with your family, that support level of your dreams, of your passions, of your heart, your security, it's raised to such great heights when you have a great relationship with your family. And when you don't have a great relationship with your family, it tends to be a lot more difficult. Where I'm coming from is that when I was in Washington State, I was away from my family. Yes, we were talked on the phone, but this was just on and off, and it wasn't all the time. And I found myself getting distant from my sisters. If you don't know, I have 3 sisters, right? And 2 of them are younger, one of them is older, but I didn't talk to them every day. And before moving up there to Washington State, I used to talk to them almost on the daily. And so me being away from them and not holding on to that connection, it became difficult and I became distant with them. And so me sharing my heart, me sharing my stories to them, trying to talk to them, it became a little bit more difficult. And I found myself feeling alone. I really did at some points. And not that they were doing anything to make me feel like that. It's just the way I felt because I didn't have that great relationship with them. And so when I was reading this book, This Is the Day by Tim Tebow, one of the sections was not wasting time on things that, let me rephrase that. Prioritizing time and prioritizing different things to build a great relationship with your family, to have certain priorities in the right place, right? So like career-wise, right? Like there's a lot of stuff you want to do with your career. You want to build it up. You want to become this, become that, and there's a process in it. And the thing is that you can get so lost in that process sometimes. I know I have before, even with this podcast, right? So focused, trying to be the best I can be, do the best that I can, that I forget what's really important. And that is the people that I love. What did Jesus say? Love God, love your neighbor, right? Love God, love people. And that's what I want to do. And I don't want to get stuck in this scene of chasing my dreams, chasing my passions, chasing my desires, to fall short and look behind me and say, wow, did I really not prioritize my family, my friends, the people that I love? And did I just waste this time? And I don't want to do that because these loved ones aren't going to be here forever, right? My parents won't be here forever. And although that sucks and is sad to say, it's true. When I get that call from my dad, when I get that call from my mom, I want to be able to answer those calls and enjoy them. I want to be able to take some time out of my day to reach out to my sisters, make sure everyone's doing well, to build that relationship, to build that rapport with them. And so I know for some of you, you might not have a great relationship with your family. And I am so sorry for that. I'm not sure what happened or what was the case of the situation. But I want you to know that whatever it may be, that God can fix it, that God can walk you through it, and that you're not alone because it happens on the daily. You're not alone in it. And you're going to have to want to have that relationship with your family. You're going to have to want to build that rapport with them. But it starts with you. And it starts with prioritizing what's more important in my life. Is anger? Is sadness? Is chasing my own desires the thing that I want in my life over my family? For me, no, it's not. It's not. And friends as well, right? The people that I see around me, I want to be able to talk with people and really talk with them, really connect with them. I want to be so focused inside the conversation that I am just listening and I'm all ears and everything else just toned out. I would love to be that kind of person, and I'm slowly trying to become that kind of person, to be able to listen. Not listen to critique, but listen to listen. Right? There's this guy, John Deloney, that I've been listening to recently, and he takes phone calls from all over the world, and people just bring their problems to him, and he's just such a good listener. One of the things that I've noticed about him, right, is that first he listens. He basically pulls up a seat next to you, right? And this is all over the phone, but in sense, he's like pulling up a seat next to you, sitting down, and just having a cup of coffee, right? Being your friend, being intentional, being present. And I want to do that with people. I really do. I think that's super important to have that in your life, because it not only shows that you care, but it gives you value, right? It makes me feel like, God, you're using me, and I thank you for that. You're using me to be able to communicate with this person. You're using me to be able to help this person. You're helping me to be a light. You're helping me to be a light. So that's why I think it's so important, right, to have relationships in your life and to focus on those and to be able to not get so caught up in the world around you. And it's a challenge. With the busy schedule, it's super hard. It is. It really is. But at the same time, what's more important? What is more important? And that's I think the relationships in your life. Following God. And then your family, your friends, your loved ones. For sure. So, all right. Let's go ahead and read that quote by Tim Tebow in the book, This Is the Day. Let me pull this real quick. All right. So, it says, make this your day. Ready for this? It says, people matter more than schedules, more than lists, and more than tasks. We know this, but what does it really mean? How do we live this out? Showing love to others may mean a simple shift of your priorities. Think about what matters most. Choose the most important things over the lesser ones. Balance busy calendars with meaningful moments. Call a friend and let him know you're thinking about him. Unplug the phones, gadgets, and devices and be more present with a friend, spouse, parent, or child. And the bottom question is, do you find yourself taking from others or investing in them? That's another topic, right? Am I investing in people or am I taking away from people? And I want to be somebody that is investing in people. Every time I have a conversation, right? I want to be able to listen, of course. And if they ask for my advice, if they ask for my opinion, invest in them. And I want to be able to do that so intentionally. Again, with my family, with my friends, and the people that I love. I also work a second job at Skyhawk Sports Academy, and I'm around a lot of kids. And with these kids, same thing. Like, I want to be intentional with them. I want to hear about their quirky day. I want to hear about the funny things that went on in their life and the things that they're thinking about, things that they're struggling with, right? And I just don't want to treat that as just a job. I'm not saying that I have, but it's so easy to get caught up in these things, right? In our own lives, in our own world. It's just, we can't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't. So, guys, that's going to wrap up season 3. That is going to wrap up season 3. And the goal is for season 4 to be able to have a guest on. I'm really looking forward to that. And I pray to God that is possible, because that's going to be super cool to have somebody sit right over here and be able to talk to somebody about life, about their story, about everything good. Life's a struggle, guys. Life's really a struggle sometimes. But when we shift our priorities and we put God first and then people, everything's going to flow right. And it may be a little bit bumpy. It is going to be a little bit bumpy. But at least you're flowing the right way. So, I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Continue to be a light. Again, this will only be found on youtube.com. And my Instagram is bruce.pineda, BRUCE.PINEDA. There's also on that Instagram page, you'll also find another Instagram page for the podcast clips, which is BP Podcast, and then the number 1. We're growing that channel too, slowly. So, love you guys. Stay safe, stay blessed, and we'll see you on season 4. Bye-bye.